Hi, this is Teena Clipston from CruiserTV, and today I'm on Aphrodite in Luperon Bay in the Dominican Republic. This episode is sponsored by El Milagro Beach Hotel and Marina. On land or sea, the perfect destination.
We know there must be more to this. We said that love could conquer anything. Well, now's the chance to give these words their meaning. Here's the chance to give these words some meaning.
In the northeast of the Caribbean, in the Greater Antilles, lies the island of Hispaniola, home of Haiti and the Dominican Republic. The rural town of Luperon resides on the north coast, said to be one of the first areas settled by Columbus. You can find almost all necessities in town, including markets, restaurants, discos, and a hospital. And what you cannot find in Luperon, neighboring cities Santiago and Puerto Plata will have everything you need. And now, more on Luperon with Captain Kathy Garcia. I'm here with Kat at, what's the name of this marina here?
Marina Blanco.
Marina Blanco. And Kat has a restaurant in town and has cruised here from...
Toronto.
Toronto! Fellow Canadian, how fabulous.
Yeah, fellow. Exactly. And I came down the Oswego Canal, the Erie Canal, 42 locks, never done a lock in my life. And then I came down the Hudson River, and my keel was 6'3". I didn't draw enough water. So at, where was I? Georgia.
Oh my God.
So I head out of Georgia, and instead of doing, there wasn't enough water because my keel was 6'3". Mm-hmm. So instead of going south, in November there wasn't, the tides were high,
right,
and there wasn't enough rain. So instead of doing a 12-hour crossing in Florida, I did a 52-hour crossing from Georgia to the North Africos in my boat.
Now, who did you do that with?
I had crew at the time, had a flight attendant.
But I also heard you've been doing some solo sailing.
Most of my sailing down here is solo.
Right, yeah.
And I've also delivered boats to Portugal, Spain. Delivered a couple from north end of Wales, from Bangor to Portmadoc. Mm-hmm. And I started sailing in West Vancouver. And wow. I did the Queen Charlotte's and San Juan.
That's an amazing story. Can you tell me how you ended up in Luperon?
I was in Stocking Island in the Bahamas, in
right.
Georgetown, mm-hmm. and I had just gone through Hurricane Irene. I did not plan on that. I had to fly back and forth to Canada for a funeral, right. And I ended up staying longer, and the weather was not permissible to go any further. So I had survived that, and they pulled my boat out into the deep water because it had a 6'3" keel. Right. All of the other boats went down. So the number one thing in my mind was I needed to save Hurricane Hole.
Right.
So all of my research showed that Luperon, which mm-hmm. I'd never been to,
right.
although I'd been coming to this island for 30 years, it was my crash and burn vacation spot, but I'd never been to Luperon. So I sailed my boat from Turks and Caicos to here, and I bought a little lot with a dock on it. And
right.
I rented as well
mm-hmm.
to other cruisers that want to go home during hurricane season.
Right.
And when I got here, I fell in love with it. Absolutely fell in love with it. And that was 5 years ago. And my whole mission was looking for hurricane season. Right. And then I was going to go sailing down the rest of the Caribbean. I've done it before, but I wanted to do more sailing. And I absolutely fell in love with life here.
And what is it that you enjoy most about Luperon?
I like the safe You're very, very safe. And all of the men, and I'm a single woman, a single captain, and I'm a single hand most of the time. So it's a really big issue.
Yes.
But I've never felt threatened. In the 5 years I've been here, I've never been intimidated, pressured, or threatened, or robbed.
Right.
Ever. Not my boat, not my house.
I actually feel very safe walking around as well. It's quite amazing. And there's no one begging you for money or anything.
But that's
like
also
that.
because we're in a fishing village.
Yeah.
We're in a little fishing farming village, and that makes a really big difference because they don't totally function strictly on tourism.
Exactly that.
So they're more interested in you feeling welcome, feeling comfortable. If they can make some money and do some extra work, they're into that. But they're more into sharing how beautiful their life is, how the sense of family here is huge.
Yes.
And that made a really big difference. But the safety, after being a single captain, female, is a huge difference. Huge difference, yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
There's a lot of places you can't even walk
No,
down
and I
the
look
street.
at further on down the islands, the amount of robberies and
in the bigger
attacks
cities. And
in the bigger cities,
Yeah.
and even in the Virgin Islands, the amount of machete attacks and people that have been attacked. Their boats have been boarded.
Right,
and boarded here.
pirates.
Pirates, and big difference. So I actually fell in love with it, and then I got sick, which was not in the plan of the whole scheme of things, and I had a stroke, and I was told I could not single hand anymore. My boat's 45 feet.
Right.
It's a lot of boats single hand on your own.
Yes, definitely.
So I had bought a lot with a dock for hurricane season with the full intentions of going further down island and sailing more. And after being sick, I was told, no, it's not possible single hand anymore. So I sold my boat, and I bought, and I built a house on the lot that I bought.
Right.
And a year and a half later, I met I met this wonderful Dominican man shortly after being here, and we were friends for a year and a half. 2 years later, I married him.
Oh, that's a lovely story.
I married him. Yeah.
So not only did you end up in your paradise, but you fell in love as well.
I fell in love. Yeah, I fell in love.
Very nice.
And we opened up a little cruiser bar because I had a hankering after being here for so long for home down comfort food.
Yes.
So we make hamburgers, American style hamburger. And we make a crispy chicken sandwich. And then when I get a craving for something that I really miss, like pork tenderloin.
I've seen your Facebook page and some of the photos of the food. It looks so delicious. And what's the name of the restaurant? It's
called Petula's.
Okay, Petula's.
Which is my husband's nickname, which means a skinny piece of spaghetti in street language. But I thought it was a fun name for a restaurant. Yeah.
Amazing.
And so we have a website called petulas.com, which nobody can spell. So I also sistered it with another website called luperoncruisers.com.
Perfect. Luperoncruisers.com.
Yeah.
And what kind of information can we find on that website?
Because of my cruising background, we also have weather networks. We have emergency contacts, wind, waves, tourism, and pretty well any general information you're going to need to go from here. Because at the end of the day, I'm a cruiser.
Right.
And I'm a captain.
Perfect.
So at the end of the day, I'm a captain. So when you come in and you want some comfort food, we can do that. And then if you want some information about going down the Mona Passage or going out of Puerto Rico, we can also help you with that information.
Perfect. And one thing I wanted to ask you about being a woman sailor who's single-handedly in that is what is the biggest challenge that you've had sailing by yourself as a woman specifically?
Do you know it's funny you should ask that, and I have a funny story to go along with this.
Okay.
As I pulled in this docking island in Georgetown, and there was a big navigation meeting, and I had not gone any further on my own on this trip. I had crewed in the Virgin Islands and St. Lucia and in Grenada before, but I had not. This is my own trip. So I pull up and I go down to the beach, and I have they say, bring your charts, there's navigation, we're going further into Turks and Caicos, and then we're talking about going to Dominican Republic, and then we're talking about going on to Puerto Rico through the Mona Passage. And I said, great, I need to know more information. And I believe that give me all the information you have, and then I'll decide. I'll do my own research, but give me everything you have, and I have an open mind, and I want to listen to everything. So I go down, and I have a little tankini on, and I have got my charts. I got a big sun hat on because
Right.
I'm not sailing, and it's 90 degrees in the shade, and I'm blonde, and I fry like nobody's business. So I got this big sun hat on. I got my charts, and I walk into this meeting. I go down, and the guys that are organizing this thing, this meeting, said, "Oh, honey, you can't come without your husband. You need to go get your husband."
Oh my gosh.
I went,
You can't come without.
"See that big 45-foot boat out there? That's mine, and I brought it here on my own, and I don't travel with that much baggage. I don't travel that much baggage." And you know what they said to me? They said, "Well, this is kind of more of a family-oriented thing." That is the worst experience I've had. And I've been in 28-foot seas.
Wow.
I've been in storms. I've been in water spouts.
Yes.
But this is my worst experience.
It was emotional.
Yes.
Yeah.
And yeah, I look kind of cutesy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
the bottom line is my boat's bigger than yours and it's sitting right there. And no, I don't have a husband. And do you really need one to go any further? Oh, yeah. So no, that's my worst experience sailing.
Yeah.
Special thanks goes out to El Milagro Beach Hotel and Marina for sponsoring this episode. El Milagro Beach Hotel and Marina is perfect for those who want 5-star service without the pretentiousness. So whether you're a guest in one of their hotel rooms or renting a boat slip, the knowledgeable and accommodating staff at El Milagro Beach Hotel and Marina are dedicated to making your stay an exceptional one. I want you to tell me about your journey here to Luperon.
Oh.
Where are you from?
Where I'm from, I live on my boat.
So you're not from anywhere specific?
I have a Switzerland passport. Lived the most time in Germany, and I have now my chosen home in Cape Verde, West Africa. There's a small apartment waiting for me. But now I got my boat in the States and try to get back to Cape Verde, West Africa.
Wow.
I tried that last year, but 700 miles offshore, the hydraulic broke down, a storm ripped 2 of the sails, and some other issues, so we had to stop for a certain reason and have to find a safe place. Without rudder and anything, so it was a challenge to get back to the Caribbean. But
How did you make it back with all those problems?
hope. I don't know.
That's
No,
pretty
because-
amazing. And what kind of boat do you have?
It's a 45-foot catamaran, an old-timer back from 1968, proud catamaran. So it's hardly strong enough for the ocean, but even in this boat something can break down.
Right. So what's your future plans?
I just fixed the boat now. Now I'm sitting here waiting for the end of the hurricane season, because I think it's not really a good idea to cross the Atlantic right now.
Right.
And once the weather calms down, we're gonna cruise maybe east through the rest of the Caribbean. Maybe I go west. I don't know actually. We'll see.
So here in Luperon's a good place to stay when there's bad weather?
Oh yeah. I saw that a couple of times. The systems always appears that they split up over Puerto Rico, and the mountains make sure all the bad parts get pushed offshore somewhere. So often it splits apart and it formates after again.
Right.
And especially up here, the way the mountains are, you have a very, very good protection. So we saw, as an example, there was a tropical storm Erica, which caused about 20 dead people in Dominica, and even pictures like from television down on the southeast coast of Hispaniola.
Right.
All the palm trees was in one direction, huge breakers coming in. At the same time, we could take a picture up here in Luperon, and the water was oil flat, and no wind at all. Not even the leaves was moving on the trees. At the same time, with the satellite picture of the whole system, you can believe that's right over us at the moment.
Right.
So for this,
it's a good place for
that's
hiding out.
That's the reason why I stay here.
All right. Thank you. Have a safe trip back.